Want to know how to jam more fun into your Friday and Saturday nights? It's half price after 6 p.m. Now the night howls at Worlds of Fun.
On the night of June the 30th, 1995, 14-year-old Ryan Janece Bielby went to Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, Missouri, for what should have been a normal evening at an amusement park with her friends. One of the rides they chose to go on was Timberwolf, a wooden roller coaster that had been one of the park's biggest attractions since the late 1980s. But before the night was over, Ryan's mother would be waiting outside the park for a daughter who would never come home. What happened on that ride would leave behind grief, confusion, and a question that still makes its case so unsettling decades later. How did a teenage girl fall from a roller coaster in the middle of the ride? Well, let's talk about it. This is the Timberwolf roller coaster disaster, the death of Ryan Bielby. Worlds of Fun opened in Kansas City, Missouri in 1973, and over the years it had become one of the main amusement parks in the Midwest. The park was originally themed around the world in 80 days, with different areas based on places like Africa, Scandinavia, and Americana. By the 1980s and the early 1990s, it had built up a strong lineup of rides, including the Zambezi Zinger, one of the park's original roller coasters, the Orient Express, a major looping coaster, and the Scream Roller, later known as Extreme Roller. One of the park's biggest rides, however, was Timberwolf. Opening in 1989, it was a large wooden roller coaster with a 100-foot lift hill, steep drops, sharp turns, and a ride time of just a couple minutes. Wooden coasters have a different feel from steel rides. They shake more, sound louder, and can feel rougher and more unpredictable, which is part of why people love them. Timberwolf was exactly that kind of ride: fast, loud, physical, and intimidating. By the mid-1990s, Timberwolf had already become one of the park's signature attractions, but it had also already been involved in a serious incident before Ryan Bielby ever stepped onto it. On March 31st, 1990, two trains collided after one train ran into a stationary train before entering the station. 35 people suffered minor injuries, and investigators later found that the ride's control system had not been able to properly handle two trains operating at the same time. Timberwolf reopened later that April, but only with a single train running while the control system was modified. No one was killed in that crash, but it meant that by 1995, the coaster had already a small history of safety concerns. Still, Timberwolf continued operating, and for most visitors it was just another ride. You would trust that everything around you had been checked, tested, and maintained. That is the basic agreement every rider makes with a theme park. You accept the fear because the danger is controlled. But on the night of June the 30th, 1995, that trust would be shattered. On Friday, June the 30th, 1995, Ryan Bielby was at Worlds of Fun with her friends. It was late in the evening when they boarded Timberwolf, with Ryan sitting beside her friend, 15-year-old Ashley Fenzel. They had asked their parents to stay a bit later as there was a fireworks show on, and they had already been on Timberwolf one time prior in the evening. The girls were seated in the third row of one of the coaster trains, and according to police interviews later reported, the ride operators checked the restraints before the train left the station. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The roller coaster climbed its lift hill, then began its fast run through the drops, turns, and curves. But at around 11:30 p.m, somewhere on the course, something went terribly wrong. As the train came over a hill and moved into a turn, Ryan fell from the coaster. She landed below the track, near one of the lower curves on the west side of the ride. What makes the incident even more disturbing is that most of the riders, excluding her friends, did not know immediately what had happened. Emergency responders were called, and Ryan was found below the ride with fatal injuries. She was taken to North Kansas City Hospital, but there was nothing doctors could do. She was pronounced dead in the early hours of July 1st, 1995.
14-year-old girl?
Tragically, yes, a 14-year-old girl somehow fell out of our Timberwolf roller coaster and met with a regrettable, unexpected demise. She was discovered within 2 minutes after the incident, was reported, still showed vital signs. We had our own in-house ambulance and paramedics on the scene. They immediately began full life support. In the meantime, MAST had been dispatched. Well, Blake, the passengers were pretty shaken up when they came back into the station. And so it's not really clear exactly exactly what they saw. I'm sure that sometime here in the very near future we'll be able to revisit that and maybe get a better understanding of what happened.
For her mother, Leah Bergonzoni, the night had become every parent's nightmare. She'd been waiting to pick her daughter up outside the park. Instead, she never came home. But almost immediately the question became how had it happened, and the accounts of what happened next would only make the case more confusing. Almost immediately, two very different versions of the incident began to emerge. Ryan's friend Ashley told police that the train crested a hill, the lap bar came up, and the seatbelt came loose. According to that account, Ryan was thrown from the train, while Ashley managed to grab hold of the lap bar, pull herself back in, and re-secure the restraint before the ride returned to the station. But that was not the only account given to investigators. Two women from Oklahoma, who had been riding 2 seats behind Ryan, later told police they saw something a bit different. From where they were sitting, they said Ryan appeared to be above the high back of the coaster seat before she fell. One said she believed Ryan would have had to be standing, while the other said Ryan looked as if she was either standing or kneeling in the seat. That became one of the most important conflicts in the case. If Ashley's account was correct, then Ryan may have fallen because the restraint somehow came loose during the ride, but if the other witnesses were correct, then investigators had to consider whether Ryan had been out of position before the fall. Worlds of Fun said the ride restraints were working perfectly. Park officials stated that the lap bars and seatbelts were in place when the ride began and when the train returned to the station. They also said the lap bar could not simply unlock on its own and would normally require a tool to be released. Police and investigators tried to recreate what happened. A detective reportedly rode Timberwolf multiple times in the same area of the train, while a crash test dummy was placed where Ryan had been sitting. In one test, with the lap bar raised and the dummy not belted in, the dummy leaned partially out the car at the curve where Ryan fell, but it was not thrown from the train. That left the investigation with no simple answer. After Ryan's death, Timberwolf was closed whilst the ride was inspected and tested. The park later reopened the roller coaster, but the case did not simply disappear. Ryan's family continued to believe that something had gone wrong with the restraints, while Worlds of Fun and the companies involved maintained the ride had not failed. That disagreement became part of the legal aftermath. The park owner at the time, and the coaster's manufacturer, Ding Corporation, later reached a settlement with Ryan's family. Reports put that settlement at around $200,000, but a settlement is not the same as a clear public answer. It did not mean that the court had proven exactly what happened in the car that night, and it did not erase the conflict between the different witness accounts. So this case was pretty much split down the middle, and I was unsure of what to believe until I came across this thread on Reddit. Now, obviously, you don't need me to tell you that Reddit isn't exactly a viable source of information, but nothing in this thread exactly sounds fabricated or made up. The post I found was titled, "I was involved in Timberwolf accident in 1995, and it reads, "Hi everyone, I'm new here and I don't even live in Kansas City anymore. As some of you may know, there was an accident on Timberwolf in the summer of 1995, resulting in the death of a 14-year-old girl. That girl was my friend Ryan. I was sitting behind her that night. We had ridden the ride once before that day and gotten permission from our parents to stay out a little later to see the fireworks and ride the Timberwolf one more time. Unfortunately, somewhere in the middle of the ride, going around a curve, the lap bar went up and my friend fell out of the ride. My other friend sitting next to her immediately pulled the bar down and sat back down and we finished the ride, still trying to frantically process what had just happened. When we pulled into the end of the ride, we all panicked, explaining that there had been an accident. Immediately, I saw staff jump the railing and begin looking for her. Me and 2 other friends were questioned for hours and hours by staff and police before finally being allowed to leave the park. It was after that we received the crushing news that our friend didn't make it. The following weeks, I continued to get questioned by detectives. At some point, someone had claimed that she was switching seats, and I can 100% confirm that wasn't the case. The lap bar had malfunctioned, and from what I understand, this issue had been reported earlier that day, but that was hearsay from a very long time ago, so I can't say for sure. I think about her a lot to this day. We all had season passes and spent so many days there that June. I've never been back to the park since, but I think someday I'll go back when I'm ready. Anyway, thanks for reading. If you have any memories of this time, or if you happen to be on the ride, please share. I'm not looking to start a debate. I just wanted to share my experience somewhere." On this thread, some of the comments would back up the poster's claims. One comment read, In the early 2000s, I had an experience on Timberwolf with my bar not staying down as well. I was about 10 years old. My stepbrother and I held it down as hard as we could. I thought maybe I was just crazy and no one believed me. And I think about that experience periodically to this day, and as time has gone on and as my memory is blurred, I convinced myself that it was just a kid exaggerating. But this post helped me confirm that what I experienced was real. Another comment read, "I hope this makes its way to you. I rode that same ride, I believe it was the day before the accident. I look it up every now and then as the internet changes and more information is shared. My brother and I were visiting the Midwest for the summer of 1995 and staying with family. One of our many family adventures was to Worlds of Fun. I was 8 years old and my brother was 10 years old. We were California raised and frequented theme parks since the time we could walk. Our experiences on the Timberwolf that day is burned into my memory. My uncle and cousin rode in the row ahead of my brother and I. We sat there as they came by to check the lap bar, and they did a little tap to check it was locked. Quickly, my brother and I knew something was wrong, as it was moving way too freely. Keep in mind, my brother and I were so young and weigh maybe 55 to 70 pounds, and we know how snug the bar should be on roller coasters. So we kind of start to panic, trying to pull it down, and both being shy, we are not sure what to do. The ride slowly starts to creep out of the loading area, and my uncle looks back and notices we are worried, and we say that the bar isn't locked. He whistles, yells, and waves for them to stop the ride. The employees come over and adjust the bar so it locks. The ride continues on, but my brother and I are terrified once we notice the bar still isn't keeping us safe in our seat. We both gripped the bar for the whole ride as it whipped us all over the car and lifted us out of our seats. The next day, my uncle was watching the news in the family room and yelled for us to come quickly. We sat and watched as the news aired that a young teenage girl had fallen out the same ride and passed away. It's a moment I will never forget. I am so sorry for your loss, and it angers me that it was preventable. It's also crazy to think that they were trying to accuse her of trying to switch seats while the ride is in motion, especially since you and your friend had already rode the ride previously. My memory of that ride is that it was very jerky and had aggressive twists and turns. I just couldn't fathom trying to switch seats under those conditions. It doesn't make sense. I always wished there was something I could have said or done, but sadly I think we just thought it was a fluke, or that maybe we were too small for the ride. There was another incident I read about today involving Worlds of Fun and a malfunctioning seatbelt, and it sent me down a rabbit hole, and that's how I found your post. If you're interested in that story, my friend Coaster College did a good video on that, so I'll link it below. The original poster went on to discuss how it was so sad and hard that nobody believed them as kids. There was also arguments about the older buzz bar restraints, how much movement they allowed, and whether a smaller rider could get partly out of position even if the ride had not technically malfunctioned. For Ryan's mother, Leah, the debate over restraints, witnesses, and official findings never changed the simple reality of what happened. Her daughter went to a theme park and is no longer here. Years later, when 10-year-old Caleb Swab was killed on the Verrucht water slide in Kansas, Leah spoke publicly about Ryan's death again, saying her heart went out to Caleb's family because she understood the kind of pain they were facing. She believed Ryan's death should have been a wake-up call for amusement park safety, and she was angry that more than 2 decades later, another child had died on a ride in the same region. To her, arguments about how rare these deaths are did not bring any comfort. Ryan may have been the only person killed at Worlds of Fun, but that statistic means nothing when the one child was hers. As she put it, when your child is the one, that is one too many. May Ryan Bielby rest in peace. As always, this is not an AI channel, I do everything myself, so if you appreciate my work, subscribe, and if you want to go that extra step to support the channel, maybe consider becoming a member. Let me know what you thought about this case in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.